Good evening and welcome to Series 3, Episode 9 of Ox Sports Unleashed. Wherever you are, in your jacuzzis, your outhouses, your living rooms, welcome to Oxford Downs Live. We thank them very much for being able to use the studio here in Stanlake. Thank you very much indeed. I've just got rid of the shards of wool from Blake Bint's jumper from last week, so I've managed to get that away from the seat. But what a great job he did in my absence, so I'm really pleased watching that back last week, how professional, much more professional than this person always is on a Thursday night. So it was great to see Blake in the hot seat for a change. So lots coming up tonight. Looking forward to interviewing Daz King from Didcot Football Club. Stay tuned for that. That should be a well worth a watch and a listen. And loads of cricket information, our normal highlights, our normal fixture focus, and also the league tables and results service. So lots to get through tonight. Colin, over to you, I think.
Indeed, yeah. We'll start off with Oxford City, still languishing the wrong end of the National League North. Lost the weekend, 1-0 to Kings Lynn. And here's what happens, followed by an interview with Zach McEachran.
A tough defeat at Telford a week ago has continued Oxford City's tough National League North season, and on Saturday they welcomed another mid-table side, Kings Lynn Town, to try and start the turnaround. City started the game brightly and created an excellent double chance in the opening 2 minutes. Ewan Clark's curling effort was well kept out by the keeper, this rebound falling to Jacob Roddy, who was unable to guide the ball home. Lynn's best chance of the half came from a football rarity, an indirect free kick after Jamie Pardington handled a back pass. Adam Marriott tried to guide his effort under the wall, but the City defence were able to block and just about keep the rebound out. Despite being a tight game, the visitors scored the only goal of the game with 20 minutes to play. A pinpoint ball through the centre caught the City defence napping, and Marriott was able to slot past Pardington to score the goal that ultimately earned his side all 3 points.
Yeah, it was tough for us all. I don't think we created enough chances, to be honest with you. First half we sat in quite a bit. They had a lot of possession, well it felt like they did. A lot of defending to do. I didn't feel like we had enough possession today, and yeah, it's a tough one to take, but glad to start. Haven't started for, as you say, 10 weeks now. It's been a long time, so I'm glad to get back on the pitch. Obviously, we need to start winning games. We're at the bottom of the table. I do think it is fine margins in the games. Obviously, there's been a few games that we have got beat by quite a lot, but I feel like it's fine margins most of the time. We just need to stick together. And just try to come good, really. It was all right, yeah. I thought I was going to struggle. I played 70. I didn't think I'd have 70 in the legs, but I'm glad I got 70 in the tank. And we'll just go from there.
Our thanks there to Patrick Locke for getting that piece of action for you, and getting Zach McEachran on to interview was good. A little bit of a change of voice for a change, so thanks to Zach for that. The eagle-eyed amongst you will notice myself and Colin have been joined by Daz King from Didcot Football Club. Thanks for joining us tonight, Daz. I normally start with trying to find out a little bit about our guests, so if you could give us a little bit of sort of a potted history of how you got into football, how you got into Didcot, stuff like that.
Good evening. Followed Leeds United all my life from a young age. Actually from Doncaster, born stone's throw away from the old Bellevue ground. My old man were a staunch Rovers fan, and me and my older brother were Leeds, which didn't go down well. And then obviously moved down here 35 years ago now. Moved to the Didcot area 25 years back, just after they'd moved to the new ground. Went regular, but didn't really just used to go and watch the games and didn't interact with many people, just went down and because I enjoyed my football. And sort of 10, 11 years back, I got involved with the youth section at Didcot Town. So went more and got to know more people who obviously were involved with the youth as well. And then a couple of years back, they asked me to come on board with them and do a bit for the social media for them, really. And obviously since then, sort of, if a job needs doing between the sort of 10, 15 of us who are at the club, we do it. So it's a little bit more than just the social media that I do, and we all do, really.
Just pick you up on that. You said about coaching there, the youngsters. What age groups have you looked after over that period of time?
Did my son's team, first of all. Got involved with him at under 8s because he started at under 8s, who were a shy lad, to be fair. So getting him out there and playing were hard. And I started off by just watching, and within 12 months I was sort of managing the team and coaching. And then went through with him, and then we'd got an under-7s team all ready to go. They're under 13s now. And the manager who was going to do it pulled out, obviously didn't understand how much work goes into it. And sort of 2 weeks before the season started, me and another lad who'd done our level 1s together, who did another team as well, went, shall we do it? And we'll get some parents to take it on from us. And sort of 6 years later, I'm still doing it. But you know, that's it. It's great to do it. There's no better than helping people develop, and also a bit of life skills, really. You know, I always say to them, I'm helping them not only play football and enjoy the football, but learn a few things in life. And it's great now. My older lads have just started turning 18. And I bumped into one not so long back and bought him his first pint, which was brilliant. I thought, from that to I'm now buying him a beer in the pub. It's great.
If it's anything like my lad, it took him to about the age of 30 to think, oh, you actually did talk some sense about your coaching. They go, I sort of got where you go.
Yeah. I must admit, I do feel sorry for the wives and whatever, because driving home with my lad, it was dissecting the game, and my other half would just normally be sat there trying to diffuse, especially if it had been a bad day, trying to diffuse the situation, really.
We always joke about in our household that, he might have had the best game ever, but it was still not good enough for the old man,
I'll open hand out tough on my lad, and he's now doing, you've probably heard of the precision programme, he's at that, and he's enjoying it, which is great to see, really.
That's good. That's brilliant. Cool.
Well, I Googled you, right? And this is what it said about you. It says, Daz King is a highly involved, dedicated volunteer at Didcot Town, holding the role of social media officer. He's also known for his extensive community work, which includes fundraising, organising events, connecting the youth and senior sections of the club. King is responsible for social media content and often assists with other duties like travel arrangements for away games and pitch maintenance. I mean, are you power mad or just someone who can't say no?
A bit of both, really, if I'm going to be honest. I'm always fully committed if I sign up to do something. And as when I first went on with the social media, I said, I'll help out. And I think especially in grassroots football, you've got to have like-minded people. Small clubs rely on volunteers to help. The more you can get, the better it is. But it is hard work. You're taking a lot of your family life out of the way to spend a lot of time at the football club and help out where you can, really.
Let's pick up on social media, because most people will know you for your post-match chats with Jamie Heapy. And to me, they come across like a couple of mates talking about the game. I mean, is that planned or just the way it is?
A bit of, yeah, it is. Nothing's been planned. We're both passionate about football, really. I think is the first and foremost. There's been games where we've both said we'll not do one today. We better not. For both, there's been games where he's had to calm me down. Certain things have happened. I always say I'm a football fan and I'll wear my heart on my sleeve. We're watching the game, and it is. He's a great lad, Jamie. He's always got time for people, and he's always up for an interview, win, lose or draw, no matter how bad it is. And he's the same. He's honest. Yeah. Sometimes it don't go down well with opposition teams. As we both went to Shaftesbury in disguise this season because we thought we better had. But it's you get what you see with a pair of us, really. We like to talk football, and if things are good, we're passionate about it, and if things are bad, we're passionate about it, really.
Okay, well, we've got a slide. This is what a slide, hopefully Mr. Producer's got the slide of what Jamie Heapy says about Daz King. We'll put that up here, so he's got his finger in the air, which means that I can't read that, but basically what he says is that he respects what you do, and also he probably spends more time talking to you than he does his wife sometimes. And it doesn't always go according to plan, because you do argue, apparently. So it's not as though you see eye to eye all the time. But again, that's a very honest piece about you, young sir.
Yeah, I mean, my missus says the same. I've got to be honest, We do spend a lot of time talking and sorting stuff out for the club. But I say it's one of them things, isn't it? You just got to do what you can, really. And, he is, as you've said, is Mr. Didcot. And, I love the fact what he does. I think if he weren't the manager at the club, I'm not sure I would put in the effort I do.
Okay, yeah.
I do a lot of it for him, and that's, for me, he's a big part of what that club is and what we all put in, what we all do. I mean, until recently, we're commuting from Cheltenham to come over to Didcot, train twice a week, games, and, he's moved back to the area now, but that's a massive commitment around, like I say, family life and everything else that you've got at work, and so fair play. And I say I always tip my hat to him and the other lads who help him. They're all ex Didcot players, the vast majority of them who wear their heart on the sleeve for the badge of the club, really.
Well, let's just put a slide up now about Jamie Heapy, because it's worth mentioning. I think he's just reached his 1,250 games he's been associated with the club, so he's had some real success in his day. And look at that, fantastic. 912 games, 26 as player manager, and 338 games as manager. So and counting. Yeah. So I mean, it's a huge record. But I mean, it's great when you hear the old phrase "one player club," right? So in my hometown team, Matthew Tissier was a one player club, right? It's very rare these days. But in local football, these guys like, I suppose, Adam Leroy, players like that, so are Josh Ashby maybe at City. They are genuinely guys that fans respect. Yeah,
I mean, when you look at, you've got Adam, who's done 430 odd. Lee Bedwell went over 400 recently. Sam Barder, who's close to 300. Cam McNeil, a couple of hundred. You've got it's, the way I look at the team, you've got 6 or 7 really experienced lads now, with a lot of young lads, and it's a good mix with that experience to help them lads out, really, and like you say, I mean, as a football supporter, if you see a local lad come into you, and this is back at professional level, you see a local lad come in and playing for his local team, you get much a bigger eye and a buzz from that, and it's exactly the same for me. We Didcot now, and I say that the big thing is, there's a few, we've just signed 5 of them on first team registration forms, who I've seen playing since they were 7 or 8, and it's great. The big problem we had were, until 2 or 3 years back, the young uns got to 17, 18, and it were like, well, there you go find a Saturday or a Sunday league team. And we moved to change it, and first of all, we put a development team in the Hellenic League, and then a youth development playing the North Barks for probably more younger lads coming through. And it's made a big difference. Jamie's bled quite a few lads from our youth section, and it's great. You get more local people coming down. That'll always help the crowd, and it's great to see. I'd love to see one of my lads who I've coached, either the older lads or the younger lads, come through one day. That'd be brilliant to see from my point of view.
Well, there was a couple of things there. When I googled you, Daz, I got rappers and DJs. So Colin did a much better job on the research on that. Joking aside, there, Sam Barder. You mentioned Sam Barder there. One of the best goals of the season for me last year. It was a cracking strike. Just going on to Didcot in the first 11 and where they are at the moment. How do you feel the season's gone so far?
We had a tough start. Had a couple of heavy defeats first couple of games, and I think it probably knocked them out of the stride a little bit for a while. We had a good little run to pull us away from the sort of relegation zone a bit, but then we had a tough run of games which we're still in. You know, we've still got 3 or 4 of the top 6 or 7 times to come up by first week in January. But saying that, you know, we went to Exmouth the other week, who were up in the sort of playoff area, and we should have won that. We were the better team that day. Frome came on Saturday, and it took a penalty really 70 minutes in to sort of get them ahead. So we're not a million miles away. You know, we've got a good mix at the moment. We have people out trying to bring in players. Probably the biggest and hardest thing for us is you can do all the talking to these lads to try and bring them in, and then you tell them what league you're in and where you're going to, and suddenly, you know, they don't want to be doing 10 hours travelling. You know, it's an hard...
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It's not just the league, it's bringing in the players and everything else, which makes it hard for, you know, the people who are trying to bring people into the club.
I think, you know, I was going to say what are the challenges and the thoughts for the future, but we're seeing that in cricket. You know, people want a shorter game because they don't want to travel to, you know, get up at 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning and not home until 11 o'clock at night, sort of type of thing. And that must be very similar to some of the journeys that Didcot have to.
Yeah, I say we've got Brixham this Saturday, which is nearly 4 hours, and the weather don't look great.
No, it doesn't.
You know, we've got a coach booked in. If it gets called off, there's the financial implications of a game being called off. You've then got to look at arranging it for a midweek. Oof. Lads taking time off work. You've got to all get there and get home again. You know, it's hard. You know, it's just a knock-on effect. You know, the travel costs for us when we went back into the Division 1 South from being in the Prem. You know, our travelling costs were 5-fold higher. You know, and it's not just that, you lose 40 or 50 off the crowd who are coming in, having a drink, buying food, and it's a knock-on effect, really. You know, and I say other teams, Oxford City, you almost pay a little bit for a bit of success, because before we both got promoted, we were in a much better, more local league. Yeah. We've got relegated, and now we're travelling halfway across the country, the pair of us, you know. So it is hard. It's how they can change it. I'm not sure. You know, I mean, I look at it from a Didcot point of view, but like Mousehole, you know, I mean, they're probably better off playing in the MLS. You know, they've got Falmouth local. Their next local game is about 2.5 hours. You know, and to be fair, they come to us last month and brought 40 or 50 fans. Yeah. Brilliant turnout from them. You know, but. For me, I think the FA have got to start helping non-league clubs out massively. You know, we're all trying to raise money to keep clubs going. It's getting harder and harder and harder, and they're putting more and more financial implications on clubs to travel. You know, the first and foremost is the one biggie, and you know, I say it's not just us. It's you see more and more clubs. You see when the divisions are set up in July, and how many teams are suddenly looking at a lot of travelling. You know, I mean, Swindon Supermarines, our local derby, it's still an hour. Yeah. You know, it's hard. It is hard.
Yeah, it's hard. You mentioned there about all the grounds you're seeing from on the non-league side of things, but we had a little chat off air, and you're saying you've done all the grounds around the...
Done the 92.
I've done the 92, yeah, I completed
Not
that.
Not this season.
No. That's a great achievement. I completed that. Chester was my last one, actually, in 96 or 7, when they were in the league. But I say, we teams going out of the league and new grounds and new teams coming in. I'm back down to about 84 at the minute, and I don't think I'll ever get to 92 again, and I can't less. But I've got to be honest, I'm enjoying the non-league. It's a completely different atmosphere. Yeah. The clubs you go to, they're proper football supporters who are generally local. They're not there. You know, no one supports a non-league team for the success. You know, you're there for the club and the crack you have, really. You know, it's great to go away with us. We probably have the same 20 go away every game. You stand and chat with them all. You stand and have a drink with them. It's, you know, it's just such a a better atmosphere. Like I said off air, you know, I've done lots of years going all over with Leeds really, and Premier League does not appeal to me whatsoever. You know, I mean, last night I've watched the Chelsea game. We score, and you just sit there because you're waiting to see what VAR says. You know, you don't cheer or anything. You know, the first
just in
goal,
case, yeah.
I thought it were offside, and only when they showed it, I was like, okay, it isn't. But yeah, it's just that for me, a lot of it there, and especially they don't care about football supports for me. You know, the amount of like Ipswich going to Middlesbrough for a 12 o'clock Saturday and New Year's Eve games now and New Year's Day lunch, you know, and you're travelling up and down. It's just not right. It's not, and the problem is for me, they know there's a conveyor belt of supporters who aren't supporters of a club. They just want to go and watch that Premiership team, you know, and it's wrong because people who've supported clubs for years and years and years are now being pushed out the door, really.
So you're getting good camaraderie with both home and away supporters, I suppose, as well. Yeah, that's really good to hear, isn't it? Colin, I don't know if you've got anything else to...
I think my final thing was that your long journeys, right, the team bus, and you travel on the team bus, don't you?
Yeah.
Right, well, I've been on team buses as well. The ones I've been on, there's a very set sort of seating arrangements, right? You know the chairman's at the front, right, and maybe the directors are there, and then you've got maybe the media guys, and then you've got the sort of different groups of players, and probably the naughty boys at the back who probably would be late for training.
Yeah.
Similar sort of culture, okay, on the bus,
definitely, and I'd say definitely the noisier ones at the back.
You said you've opened up the coach too to some supporters too.
Yeah, I say if supporters want to travel, the ground hoppers, the people who go all over, you know, we only charge 20 quid to wherever we go, you know, so it's affordable football in our eyes. Absolutely, really. And if we, you know, when I first did it last year, I had a couple of lads from Wickham who said, we want to do them grounds, can we jump on your coach? And I went, yeah, you know, the more the merrier. If we can get you to a ground for a fraction of the cost, like I've just said, the pricing fans out. So for me and for us, it's if we can help people go to games, then, you know, get you sent on.
Perfect. Look, I think it's brilliant the work you do. I mean, from everybody from Oxsports Unleashed, well done for your efforts at Didcot, and I'm sure that'll be echoing in the Didcot stands as well. So, fantastic effort, Daz. Thanks very much for coming in. Is there any one last thing? I mean, your passion for the sport comes through, absolutely, 100%. If there's somebody out there that's thinking that they want to get involved, you know, with a local club, what would you say to them?
Big thing, come down, get in touch. You know, my email address is on all our social media stuff that goes out there. If you want to help in any way, you know, Didcot's a big town now, and I think there's a lot of people that still don't know there's a football club in part of it. You know, it's a good social. You know, it's in a sport now where you can have a drink and watch the game and, you know, have a chat. You're always welcomed, and I say we're trying as hardest to bring people through the door. It's an hard challenge, but yeah, give us a go. Come down. We're always there to listen.
Brilliant. Thanks ever so much for coming in your time. That was really insightful. Enjoyed that a lot. So yeah, Daz King, thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Really good.
So I think that takes us on to Banbury United. Colin, I think that's...
it does indeed, and Kelvin Langmead in his first year in the dugout continues to do well, and they got a 2-0 win over Stamford at the weekend. I think we've got an interview with some highlights.
Banbury's win there, 2-0 against Stamford, sorry. So well done to Banbury. They're doing okay, aren't they?
They are doing okay.
I think they're settled in mid-table, and we'll see. We'll have a look at the tables later, so we'll see exactly where they are. But well done to Banbury. We do tend to try and showcase loads of football teams within our county of Oxfordshire, and that probably is a good time to say, if you've got any clips, or you're an avid fan of a non-league football side, and you've got some interviews or just some random piece of information, get in contact with us. There it is. Send your clips or anything along to oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. That's oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. We will love to hear from you. And that's taking on from Banbury. Oxford City Youth, they've done particularly well. They are going to be taking on QPR at Loftus Road next Wednesday. That's in the FA Youth Cup, isn't it? So we wish Oxford City Youth all the very best next Wednesday. I think one of our producers may well be going along to have a look at that. So we never know. We might get a little bit of footage for next week.
Yeah.
You never know. As we mentioned, we're all volunteers here, and there's a lot of people behind the scenes. Patrick and Blake are producing tonight. Obviously, Kieran and Wes doing some stuff for us as well, and Colin and myself presenting. So if you want to get doing any of that, any producing, any interviews, any camera work, please do get in contact again at that email address as we spoke about. And that takes us to our normal roundup of fixtures, fixture focus, with Lock and Ryde, or as I like to call them, Abbott and Costello.
Right, okay, so what have local football fans got to look forward to this coming weekend, Patrick? It's time for Fixture Focus, sir.
Yeah, so it was a rare weekend last weekend that all of our teams were at home, it seemed like. So most teams are away this weekend. Oxford United, they travel to Swansea City in the Championship. Oxford City host Darlington in National League North. I mean, obviously looking desperately to find a win or two from somewhere. Banbury United, they travel to Reddish Borough in Southern League Premier Central. Didcot Town, they travel to Brixham in Southern League Division 1 South. While Tame United, they host Northwood in Division 1 Central, looking hopefully to get that one on this weekend after a couple of weekends off. Sunday, Oxford United host Gwalior United in Women's National League South. Abingdon United travel to Ascot United in Division 1 Southwest. While Oxford City, they head down the M40 to face Beaconsfield Town in the Southern Region Women's Football League Premier.
Right, that's a good fixture. Let's hope the weather doesn't foul up the football for this coming weekend. That's the fixture focus for this weekend coming. Now back to the main studio for much more Oxford Sports Unleashed.
Our thanks to Lou and Bud, Abbott and Costello, Lock and Ryde for our roundup the fixture focus. You don't get that anywhere else, and I have to say at this point as well, get along to Spotify and download the podcast. Listen to the podcast, Lock and Ryde, with their roundup of Oxfordshire. There it is, look, Lock and Ryde's Football Roundup podcast each week on Spotify. It's well worth a listen, and you just don't get that anywhere else in this county with a proper roundup of all the results, etc., and some interviews as well. So do get along, because it's well worth a listen. You know, with the media going down in Oxfordshire at the moment, it's a something we're trying to promote as many sports as we can, but obviously a football roundup is at the top of the list there. So our thanks to those guys, because they do spend a lot of time on that, and it is well worth a listen. So please do go across to Spotify and have a listen.
Okay, change sports now to Chinnor Rugby Club. They're up to 7th in the league, level on points with 6th and 8th. Just one spot outside the playoffs. They're playing at the highest ever level in their history so far. So here is their latest 36-28 win over Cady, coming up next.
Chinnor completed a convincing win on their return to championship action as they beat Coldy 36 points to 28. Having had a couple of weeks off due to the Premiership Cup, Chinnor were back on the field in the Wirral as they took on 7th placed Coldy. Georgian prop Ramaz Rakadze opened the scoring for the villagers with a try in the 2nd minute of the game as Chinnor forced themselves over the line.
First try of the match is given.
Coldy responded soon after with Ollie Wynn having a clean run after a scrum. A late tackle from the Chinnor defence couldn't stop Wynn as Coldy levelled the scores after 7 minutes. The action kept coming in the first half with another maul on the try line going Chinnor's way. Robin Harwick, the beneficiary for the visitors on this occasion. But history repeated itself as host Coldy put things even within 5 minutes. A scrap on the line and Ollie Hearn found a gap to give him his 8th try of the season. Chinnor responded in similar style to bring about the 5th try of the game inside half an hour. Another driving maul and Chris Moore had the ball over the line.
Again, so the driving maul working a treat there for the visitors.
The bonus point was then secured by the villagers after just 33 minutes of play. Their 4th of the game, courtesy of number 12 Tom Watson, as a dummy saw him get a clean run down the left-hand side to give Chinnor a healthy lead going into half-time. But Coldy struck back quickly thanks to Kieran Wilkinson and Obi Ene. A chip by Wilkinson was latched onto by Ene, who made no mistake and ran through to score his 27th career try. Once again, Chinnor came fighting back and quickly rebuilt their lead after another 4 minutes. Chris Moore scored his 2nd try of the match as the villagers forced their way through the Coldy defence to take their lead into double digits. The 3rd try of the second half and the 9th of the match was scored just 12 minutes after the break as Coldy came back hard on home soil. Almost a carbon copy of Chris Moore's try for Chinnor, Ollie Hearn brought up his 2nd of the game after he broke through the defence. A George Warboys penalty was the only action to follow what had been a full-on hour of play as Chinnor held on to secure the win by 8 points in a game where 9 tries were scored. Chinnor have now won 5 out of their last 6 matches and notched up a 4th consecutive victory to see them rise to 7th in the table and level on points with Hartbury. Back to the studio for more Ox Sports Unleashed.
So there we are, another win for Chinnor Rugby Club, who are now above Caldy. I called them Cady earlier on, but they are in fact called Caldy. So there you go. Good stuff there. If you want to get down there and watch it at Chinnor, it's a great watch, and they're doing very well as things stand. So we must get down at some point in Nottingham. So.
Yeah, they're playing Nottingham at home tomorrow night, if you want to get round to Kingsley Road. That was a better result, actually. They've been winning by the odd point, haven't they, in the last few weeks? But there's a little bit more of a buffer this week for Chinnor. But, yeah, doing really well. We wish them, as we always do, the very best for the rest of the season. Going on to, because there was a game of cricket going on down under today with the pink ball. As you can see, under lights, that is very difficult to pick up. I would not want to be playing against 90 miles an hour with a pink ball shining off floodlights, I have to say.
Oh, okay.
But this takes us to our Oxfordshire lads and lasses that are plying their trade elsewhere during the winter, and we'll start as we normally do with Lindsay Smith, and she's been doing incredibly well. As it says there, take a bow. She's playing for the Hobart Hurricanes there, and she's taken 2 for 29 against the Melbourne Stars, where she dismissed legends Lanning and Sutherland. So going well, and they should qualify for the knockout matches there. Their final group game tomorrow is against the Adelaide Strikers, but it looks like she will be going on to the knockout stages. She has been awarded this week the first ECB central contract 1 year, and that's after taking 12 wickets in the Cricket World Cup, second most for the English. An economy of 4 runs per over. Took 5 for an ODI debut against the West Indies in May, 7 years after making her England debut. And I always go back to when we had a conversation with her at Wormsley.
Absolutely,
and she was trying to get back into the England side. And I think Charlotte Edwards coming into the mix has helped that scenario for her. And she's paid Charlotte back, or Lottie, as we like to call her, back in spades. Absolutely, 100%. She's done really, really well. And then Ben Charlesworth has been hitting a few runs, 13 off 14 balls versus Chipwan Rhinos, and 34 off 21 against Karnali Yaks. And his team, Kathmandu Gurkhas, sit second at the moment. So Ben's going well in that competition. In the same competition, Matt Taylor has also been doing reasonably well. He took 2 for 34 off his 3.4 overs versus Lumbini Lions. And he did take the wickets of Dick Weller and Nabe there in that game. So good luck to them for the rest of the season. We hope they go well and perhaps bring some silverware back to the Glowshire, as we like to call it. That takes us back now to football and our normal... As Wes has put on our...
What's he say? Waffle.
Yeah, Belgian waffle this week.
Oh, is it
apparently.
really?
Yeah,
Oh.
so not quite sure. I don't think that means we've got to talk...
Like, I don't know.
No. I think we'll just get onto the league tables, to be fair.
Let's just move on.
Yeah, move on.
Shall I start there? Oxford United.
Yeah,
Okay, what a fantastic win at the weekend. I was there getting very excited about beating Ipswich towards the top end there. Still not out of the wire yet, those there. Got a lot of difficult teams coming up, so but currently 20th in the Championship. So.
I was in Swansea last week,
Were you really?
Colin.
Oh, right,
watching
okay.
the Fast Show. Suits you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Suits you.
Next up then, I think we're going to go to Oxford City, are we?
We might go to Oxford City.
Over to you, sir.
Oxford City, yeah. Unfortunately, after that loss at the weekend, now second from bottom. 21 games. They've played a few more games than the sides above them. 16 points. But it's one of those ones, if they did get a couple of wins, they could go up out of that relegation four. But they do need to put some points on the board over the next few weeks. A couple of wins before Christmas would be nice. Nice Christmas present for the city.
Well, Zach McEachran has played his first game back from injury after about 6 or 7 weeks out. So that's good news for them. Next slide, sir. Banbury United, mid-table, another win at the weekend, doing really well, I think so. Especially important this year as they're in this fundraising mood. If you want to check it out, there's a video on YouTube called Our Club, Our Town about their plight and how they're trying to move things on financially for them. Woodsy.
Yeah, well worth a watch, that, I have to say. Hopefully that can help them, help their situation. So Tame United are mid-table again there, 12th, 17 games played. They've got a few games in hand, so perhaps a couple of wins there will get them up into the top 10.
Yeah, unusually it's the Tame United ground that seems to be getting waterlogged, so they've got a few games called off. So Didcot Town, up and down season so far, as you've heard from Dad's King, and 17 points, dangerously close to relegation, so I'm sure they can dig it out, but they have been playing all the top teams recently, so and as they been on their travels as well, Woodsy.
Yeah, good to hear all what's going on at Didcot with Daz earlier. If you didn't watch that live, do watch that back. It's well worth a listen. Ardley United, they're top of Cherry Red Records Combined Counties Football League, Premier Division North. Easy for me to say each week that. 3 games in hand over Wallingford and Crowmarsh in second. So they're in a really strong position to maintain the top spot. And Milton United in 7th and Kidlington 9th, respectively, are doing well. They're having some good seasons. And a bit further down in the same division there, Abingdon United in 13th position and on 20 points, and Northley just above the relegation with 15 points after 20 games.
Yeah, and Northley and Kidlington came down to this division last season, so Northley looking like they may well go down again unless they can start to pull things around. That would be bad news for what they describe themselves as a village team, I think, so that's no insult there. They have often punched above their weight, struggling this season though.
And in the GCE Higher Fleet United Counties League Premier South, Easington Sports in 17th position. They've played 21 with 19 points on the board.
Old Sport League Division 1, Wantage Town, second at the moment. They continue winning big time too, so pretty good goal difference. And Stratford at top as well. So Wantage Town going well as things stand.
And in the same league there, I'll start at the bottom. Taming United Reserves still on 4 points, really struggling there. Clanfield 85, up a place from last week, now with 12 points. In a better position, but Shortwood United have got 3 games in hand just above them. And then Carterton, 13 games played, 13 points. They've got a bit to do to catch up on the team above them, but they do have 3 games in hand. Come on, my local side.
Okay, Women's National League and Southern Division, Oxford United ladies in 7th.
Hope to get an ex-Oxford United player on, now playing for Blackburn Rovers, Ellie Noble. So
okay,
hopefully we can speak to Ellie in the new year. In the National League, Division 1 South West, Aberdeen United sitting quite nicely in 5th. It's a funny old league, that, isn't it, actually? Because, they're sort of quite a way off top. But not too far away from the bottom clubs in there. But hopefully they'll keep that position. In the Southern Region Women's Football League Premier South, Oxford City, a loss at the weekend after 5 games, still on 6 points. But hopefully can get a league run going together and move up the league in the next few weeks. There we go. All the league tables where you just can't get anywhere else.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
a hell of a seam on that, isn't it? That's a Duke's pink ball, but you wouldn't want to get that many
I always
around,
think
would
they're
you?
harder balls, but
Yeah.
I'm probably wrong.
But it's a really big seam there, I think. So anybody that knows how to do this sort of stuff, like you, sir, could get that moving about, I'm sure.
Get that. Mitchell Stark today, left arm. Beautiful. That takes us on to our results service, and our thanks to Kieran Bushnell for putting this together, and Wes Spearman for putting the trimmings on it. So here's the results from last weekend from around our county. There we go. Our thanks again to Kieran and Wes for that roundup of the results around our county last weekend. We've just been talking about the league tables and Wantage's 55 draws that they had on the league table last week. So there you go. Look, 17 games, 55 of them were drawn. Well done, Wes. That's another good one. I think it's a part of the service that he now provides that he gives us that little bit of giggle.
I think so, yeah.
Either
that or his maths not too great.
Well, it could be that. It could be that. I'm looking forward to a side that we haven't featured. That's going to be highlighted in yellow, because that's always quite good. There has been some darts recently from local people, and hopefully we've got some slides here to go through.
Shane Turner.
So there we go. Some of the darting talent have been in action. Abingdon's Shane Turner there won the Amateur UK and Ireland Classic. That was 2 weeks ago. Well done to Shane for that achievement. Yesterday he actually made his TV debut, Colin, in the Amateur Global Championship, qualifying for the next stage. So that's a real sort of feather in his cap. It's nice to be able to do that, isn't it? It's another part of your development as a darter, a darts player, and it's just good that they're getting that exposure on television. So well done to Shane for that. And Stuart Dutton advanced today, topping his group, and England international Sean Holly of Stonesfield Cricket Club fame will make his appearance on Monday, hoping to make next week's cut from 56 players to 32 to hopefully join Shane and Stuart playing for a mammoth £60,000 first prize. So there's a lot of money in darts.
It's not bad, is it?
Colin, isn't there? So we're hopefully in the new year we'll have a darts player in the studio. We're going to have a couple of interviews, so we're looking forward to that, because that's something we haven't actually showcased on the show ever. Actually, we've mentioned it from time to time, but never had anybody in. So we're looking forward to speaking with a couple of darts players in the new year. Lots coming up in the new year, I have to say as well. Loads of interviews. Lots more sports being showcased during 2026. So stay with us through that, because we've got a lot to discuss and showcase for you from around our wonderful county. And I keep saying this, Colin, but how many fantastic sports people we have in Oxfordshire is amazing in all sports.
And we were talking to Daz King earlier on, and I mean, trying to get coverage of successful non-league or amateur sports in the printed press these days is a tough job. That's why we're doing this, to try and get a little bit of exposure to those sports which you might not have been hearing about much in the past.
Absolutely. We're talking off air. We highlighted dodgeball, netball, football clubs, cricket clubs. It's we're trying to get those sports out there and for your enjoyment on a Thursday night. So, like I say, if you want your sport to be showcased, please do get in contact with us at our email address, which is oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. That's oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. There it is. And we'd love to hear from you, love to get you in, interview you, talk about your passion about sport. We've heard the passion from Daz King tonight about his football club, so why not come in and do the same and highlight things. So I think that's great. Well, I don't think we can go tonight without talking about a certain Mr. Root.
I think so.
Phenomenal achievement in cricket. He's got to be classed as the world's best player now, hasn't he?
I think the Australians might have something to say about that, but no, I think he's to me, he's one of the only really truly consistent world-class cricketers that we've got at the moment. Seriously, he can play different formats. he played different games today, didn't he? Really, one minute he's a very sort of measured batsman. Then when he got his 100, Bazball, and Archer. Wow, seriously. Does he not know he's a bowler?
That's a good partnership, that, wasn't it?
It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
It was quite pleasing because there was a lot of time wasting going on by the Australians. So they didn't want to face Archer under a pink ball under lights. So I think they got their comeuppance a little bit.
I think
actually,
they did.
in some respects.
Yeah.
But I just loved Root's reaction when he just went like that.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic. It shows the sportsman that he is, and he talks well. But since dropping the captaincy, his form has just spiralled out of control. It's just been fantastic. So long may that continue. If you can get another couple of hundreds in this series, it'd be fantastic.
Can I ask you a coaching question then?
You can.
You said about his form improving since he dropped the captaincy. Have you known that happen to a local cricketer?
It happens to loads of people.
Does it?
Yeah.
What is it? Why is it? What is just?
You just get a lot of pressure as a captain, especially if the results aren't going your way. Root had that situation, didn't he? Quite a lot. So the pressure, and they'd be under more pressure than local because at the end of the day, you're not going to throw somebody over the coals in local cricket for results. Obviously, everybody wants to do well, but that's a little bit more. It's the competition. It's the competition in cricket, the Ashes.
Yeah.
So to actually get that 100 in Australia, I was rooting for him absolutely 100%. I was absolutely nervous. I could actually say this morning when he was in the 90s, nervous 90s. It really was. So it was great to watch, and hopefully they can go on and do something special in this Test match.
Hopefully
because,
so, yeah.
We really hope they can win this one, and that will really set up the series.
Yeah, brilliant.
Well, Colin, I think that was a super little show tonight. Thanks again to Daz King, because really love hearing the passion in people when they've got the sport. So, like I say, join us and do the same. So that's about it for tonight. So please join us again live at Oxford Downs next Thursday, where we'll unleash some more Ox Sports. We'll see you soon.
Bye for now.